Good evening, baseball fans. You are tuning in to a opening day edition of Oakland Athletics Baseball as our A's are taking on the Seattle Mariners here at Safeco Field in Seattle, Washington, as the Mariners play host to our Athletics here on the opening day of 2017. This is an Athletics team that just missed out in the playoffs last year by one game out of that wild card spot, and they are looking to capitalize on that here in this season and improve upon that and get back to the playoffs. The opening day lineup for our A's is as follows. Leading things off in center field is Burns, followed by catcher Vogt, third base Solarte, left field Davis, first base Cano, second base Fernandez, DH Butler, shortstop Lowry, and right field the newly acquired in the offseason Jared Dyson, the Rule 5 draft. While on the mound for the Mariners is King Felix, and this is going to be his 13th year in Major League Baseball, signed in 2002 by Seattle. He is from the same hometown as Athletics pitcher Henderson Alvarez, which is Valencia, Carabobo, Venezuela. So, King Felix gets the nod here on opening day as usual for Seattle. And here comes Billy Burns digging into the batter's box to lead off the season for Oakland. He led the team in stolen bases last year in typical leadoff guy fashion. As the first pitch to Burns is in there for a ball. That's going to be taken. Count runs 1-2 now to Burns. Hernandez sets, kicks, and fires. That's slapped the other way. It's going to land in front of Nieuwenhuis in left field as Billy Burns has himself a leadoff single to start off the 2017 season for him and for the Oakland Athletics. So Burns on first now, as that'll bring up Stephen Vogt, the catcher. He was the lone representative in the All-Star game for the Athletics last season. Burns on first base. Here comes the pitch. There goes Burns. He takes off for second, and he's in there with the slide before the tag, as Billy Burns swipes second already. And now he's in scoring position. So 3-1 count to Vogt. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be popped up in left center field. Nieuwenhuis is back. Step in front of the track. He's there, and he dropped it! Burns is going to tag up from second. Vogt moves the second. So Burns is now on third. Vogt on second after the dropped ball in left field by Nieuwenhuis. And a little bit of a miscue there to start off the Mariners season, as both runners in the scoring position now. For the third hitter in Yangervis Solarte, who was required at the trade deadline last year from the San Diego Padres. As here comes the 2-2. That's a ground ball to second, fielded by Cano on the run, tosses over to first, but Burns will score from third, no problemo, so Solarte has himself an RBI, and the Athletics have a 1-0 lead. So Vogt on third base now. That brings up last year's home run leader for this Athletics team, and Chris Davis. First pitch to him is taken, too far inside, that's one ball. Count runs 2-2 now. Here comes the pitch. As that's going to get away from the catcher. Back to the backstop. Vogt heads home, and Hernandez is there to slap on the tag. Clevenger to Vogt. Clevenger to Hernandez, correction. They get out Vogt. And it's going to be only 1-0 now, as a full count to Davis is going to be taken for strike three in the outside corner. So Davis goes down looking, and King Felix gets out of that top half of the first inning, only allowing one run. So halfway through one, it's 1-0 Athletics. Welcome back to the bottom half of the first inning. The Mariners' starting lineup is center fielder Martin, third base Seager, right field Cruz, first base Lind, second base Robbie Cano, DH Efren Navarro, catcher Clevenger, shortstop Marte, and left field Nieuwenhuis rounds things out. While on the mound for the Athletics is the ace, the right-hander Sonny Gray. He finished last year with a 13-11 record and a 3.54 ERA, the former first-round pick, 18th overall in 2011 out of Vanderbilt University. And Gray will start his year off against the speedy center fielder Leonis Martin. He had 44 stolen bags for Seattle last campaign. So here comes the first pitch of Sonny Gray's season, in there for strike one, slider on the inside half. Count runs 0-2 to Martin. Gray kicks and fires. That's going to be chopped down the third baseline, fielded by Vogt. He has to hurry. He throws over to first, and Martin's safe. Uses his speed to get that down and to get the single to start off his season. So runner on first as Kyle Seager digs in. First pitch to him is in there for strike one, down in the zone. Count runs 0-1 now. Gray sets the belt. Here comes the pitch. Swing through the sweeping curve. That goes down swinging as Kyle Seager The first out of the season for Sonny Gray. That brings up Nelson Cruz, playing right field on the day. First pitch to him in there for strike one. Fastball pretty much right down the middle. Count runs 0-2. Gray sets at the belt. Here comes the pitch. That's a pop fly into shallow right field. Dyson is under it. And he retires that one for out number 2 this inning, as he'll get the throw into the cutoff man over at second, which is Fernandez. And now that's 2 outs, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Adam Lind, hitting cleanup. Had 35 home runs last year for this Mariners team. This Gray working from the stretch. Here comes pitch number 1 of the AB. As that's taken for a ball up in the zone, or up above the zone, I should say. Count runs full now. Here comes the pitch. There goes the runner. That's popped up behind home plate. Vogt is under it, and he retires that one for out number 3, as Sonny Gray gets out of that one without allowing any runs, so Oakland still has a 1-0 lead at the end of 1 over the Mariners. Welcome back to Safeco Field here in the top half of the second inning as Robinson Cano digs in for the Seattle Mariners to lead off this second. Here comes the first pitch from Sonny Gray. That misses the outside half. Slider. 1-0 count, runs to 2-0. So Gray behind in the count. Here comes the pitch. That's swung on and taken to right field. Dyson looks up and he watches that one fly. Robinson Cano connects on a solo shot into the right field seats. Robbie Cano, don't you know? As he puts the Mariners up, he ties this game up by a score of 1-1 here in this top half of the second. And that brings up Efren Navarro, the DH, for this Mariners team. And that first pitch is going to be grounded to second base, fielded by Fernandez on the backhand, tosses over to first, and Cano's there to retire that one for out number 1 of this inning. That brings up the catcher, Steve Clevenger, 1-2 count on him. Pitch from Gray is swung through. That's the drop third strike, though, as it gets to the backstop. Vogt fires over to first, and Clevenger is safe, as he's going to be able to reach first, so there is no out on the play despite being credited as a strikeout. And Ketel Marte digs in now, the shortstop, with Clevenger on first. As that's a hit and run, and that's a perfect piece of situational hitting there. Clevenger goes first to third. Throw to third base is late. So Clevenger gets first to third on that perfect piece of situational hitting from Ketel Marte. And then runners on the corners here with 1 out. As Kirk Neuenhuis swings right through that one. He goes down on the curveball. So two outs now in the inning, with runners on the corners here for the Mariners. And now the leadoff guy, Leonys Martins, digs in. That's chopped in front of the plate. Vogt fields, tosses over to first. And that retires Martin for out number 3. So the Mariners strand 2 runners on, but not before Robbie Cano ties the game up at 1 after a solo shot. So at the end of 2, it's 1-1 Athletics and Mariners. Welcome back to the bottom half of the 4th inning here, as the game's still all tied up at 1. So with 2 outs, Kirk Neuenhuis digs into the batter's box. Struck out in his last plate appearance, as he'll take that first pitch for ball 1. A little bit too inside, so 2-1 count now, as Gray kicks and fires. That's going to be taken to right field, and Dyson looks up and watches that one fly. Kirk Neuenhuis with a solo shot, a little bit farther into the right field side than Cano's home run early on in the game. That's Neuenhuis' first home run, as the Mariners take a 2-1 lead here. And now that brings up Leonys Martins. First pitch to him is in there for strike 1. 0-1 count, runs to 1-2. Gray sets at the belt. Here comes the pitch. That's chopper right up the middle, fielded by Lowry, fires on the run, and that retires Martin at first base for the final out of the inning, but not before Kirk Neuenhuis takes a 2-1 Mariners lead on a solo shot here at the end of 4. And here we are back in the top half of the 7th inning, Oakland and Seattle. 2-1 Seattle lead here in the top half of the 7th, as the first pitch to Jose Miguel Fernandez with 1 out is missing the strike zone. Count runs 2-0 now. Hernandez sets from the windup. Here comes the pitch. And Fernandez gets all of that one into right center field. You can watch it fly. Jose Miguel Fernandez with a solo shot ties this one up in the 7th inning, as Felix Hernandez is not happy about that one. 400-foot shot for Jose Miguel Fernandez as that brings up Billy Butler. The DH is going to pop this one up into right field. Cruz camps under that one, doesn't even have to move as he's retired for out number 2. And now that brings up the shortstop, Jed Lowry. 0 for 2 so far in the day. Strikeout and a lineout in previous at-bats. Game all tied up at 2 now. Pitch from Hernandez, misses the outside half, curveball. 1-0 count, runs the 2-0. Hernandez behind in the count. Here comes the pitch. That's a ground ball to first base, fielded by Lind. He'll step on the bag himself and retires Lowry for out number 3, but not before the A's tie this game up at 2, thanks to a solo shot from Jose Miguel Fernandez. So halfway through 7, it's 2-2 Mariners and Athletics. Welcome back to the bottom half of the 9th inning here in Seattle. 2-2 tie game as Efren Navarro digs in to lead off the inning. Mark Zepchinski is on the mound to face a bunch of left-handed hitters. His second inning of work as the first pitch to Navarro's fouled down the line opposite way, and that'll be landed foul. Davis almost got to that one, so 0-2 count now. Zepchinski sets and delivers. And he got him on the nasty slider. Efren Navarro goes down swinging, so that's 1 down here in the bottom half of the 9th. As that'll bring up Steve Clevenger. Zepchinski sets, and the first pitch sinker in there, down and inside, 0-1 count. Zepchinski sets at the chest. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball to third, fielded by Solarte, fires over across the diamond, as Cano's there to retire that one for out number 2. And now with 2 outs, Ketel Marte, the shortstop, digs in, hitting from the right-handed side of the plate, but he is a lesser hitter on that right-handed side of the plate, so Zepchinski will stay in to face him. First pitch, ground ball to second, fielded by Fernandez, tosses over to first, and that's out number 3, as we've got free baseball here in Seattle on opening day, tied at 2 at the end of 9, as we'll pick things back up when we come back in extra innings. Welcome back to the bottom half of the 10th inning as Kirk Neuenhuis digs in. Zepchinski still on the mound to face a predominantly left-handed lineup of this Mariners team, as the first pitch from him is in there for strike 1. Count runs 0-2 now. Zepchinski sets and delivers. That's swung through the slider as Neuenhuis goes down swinging. So 1 out now, and Zepchinski's pitch count is getting up there, so they're going to bring in Carlos Villanueva, the right-hander, out of the bullpen. The 33-year-old acquired this offseason in free agency. And he's going to be facing a predominantly left-handed lineup so far, as the first pitch from Villanueva is in there for strike 1, change up on the outside half. Count runs 1-2 to Martin. The pitch from Villanueva is up the middle, and that's going to be taken into center field. Burns will field that one, get it into second base, where it's cut off by Fernandez. But the speedy Martin is on first base with 1 out, and that brings up Kyle Seager, the power-hitting third baseman for this Mariners team. Pitch from Villanueva is a pitch out, but Martin isn't going anywhere. So he'll hold up at first base. Count runs 1-2 now. Villanueva sets and delivers. That's swung on and taken into right field. Dyson looks up and watches that one fly. Kyle Seager with a 2-run shot in the bottom half of the 10th inning, as that is a walk-off home run for the Seattle Mariners team as they come with the victory here on opening day over our Oakland Athletics, thanks to a solo 2-run shot from the third baseman Kyle Seager. The Athletics had the left-hander Zepchinski in to face all the left-handed bats in that lineup, but he just ran out of pitches as he just could not go on any further, and they had to bring in Villanueva. And he just could not get the job done as he gives up that walk-off home run. Robbie Cano picks up player of the game honors for the Mariners. He goes 3 for 4 with a home run on the day. Seager had the walk-off shot in the bottom half of the 10th. Neuenhuis had his home run as well as a solo shot. Charlie Furbush gets the victory for the Mariners. He's now 1-0 as Villanueva gets the loss for the Athletics. So 4-2 is your final here in Seattle on opening day. And with that being said, it's going to wrap things up here for this edition of Oakland Athletics Baseball. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I'm saying goodbye.